Alright, g'day fellas. New build, new Reflect build. This is my Reflect charging lightning bear, okay? I'll show you a quick monolith first. So this is 400 corruption, just to put it in perspective. And we will just jump into a random one. And we just hold down right click and we just charge. And as you can see, the reflect damage is still crazy at 400 corruption. The bosses have just been falling over. There really hasn't been any pullback on the build yet. So I'm going to keep pushing the build. I'm going to keep going up and up in corruption until we finally hit the wall, but we are nowhere near it yet. I still am missing a lot of damage. I think I'm still missing about 7 or 8 reflect idols, which is kind of crazy. We can get currently up to around 70k fully buffed reflect damage for anything that looks at us. Okay. And I mean, there you go, 400 corruption monolith. This build is probably not going to be the strongest reflect build, but it is going to be the one of the faster versions. So this build is just going to be amazing for leveling, for farming monoliths. I'm not a speed farmer by any means, and I'm level 94, and we made this character on stream yesterday from level 1. Okay, so let's get into it and how it works. We're going to go over the gear first. So for the gear, we have this chest piece. This is the primordial chest piece. You can get this at level 35. It has a base up to 209 damage reflected to attackers. The big one, though, is every 0.5 seconds, you blind all enemies facing you and deal damage to them equal to the damage reflected to attacker's stat. So all reflect damage we have will reflect to anything that's looking at us. And when it says looking at us, it just means aggroed, okay? Because if a treasure goblin aggroes and it's running away from us, it's still getting damaged, okay? So the range on this is amazing. Even if you don't want to play a reflect build, I still recommend getting this chest piece for leveling up your alts. When you get to level 35, you can put this on any character, throw on a little bit of attunement gear, throw on a little bit of physical resist, and go to level 90 monoliths immediately. And you don't have to push any buttons, you just run through the maps. Okay. Furthermore, this chest piece has up to 401% increased reflect damage versus bosses and rares. So our 78,000 reflect damage that we currently have will get quadrupled. 74% increased armor can roll up to 83. 17% more armor against blinded enemies, which is every enemy because this chest piece blinds them. Physical resist, which is great for the last stat, which is 17 damage reflected to attackers per 10% uncapped physical resistance. So that's something I need to start doing now is as I get 2 LP items, I want to start rolling Exalted Fizz Res on my gear, as well as Exalted Attunement, okay? That's just going to take the build to a whole nother level. Alright? So that's the chest piece, and hopefully that makes sense on how it works. Now the big thing, the big change from my last Reflect build, which I'd overlooked completely and I feel stupid for, was this shield. Now this shield has one main stat that you're looking for. Up to 9% increased flat damage reflected to attackers per attunement. Okay? So every point of attunement will give you 9% more reflect damage. Crazy. So just stack attunement. We are sitting at 126 attunement at the moment. Yep, just get as much attunement as you can. All right. From there, I've gone for the combo with the Tears of the Forest, which I need to slam physical resist on, and a Terrace Path with an attunement slam on these. This is just so I have infinite rage in druid form, so I can continuously charge through the maps at my heart's content and never have to run out of rage. Okay? You'll see when you're walking around like this, you will start to spawn random vines. There they are. Each one of those vines will give you 3 rage per second. Okay. Moving on, we have this belt. I don't know whether this belt is worth it or not. You would want to slam like physical res onto this. We can't get attunement on the belt slot item. If anyone has a better option than this belt, please let me know. But currently this is what I'm running because it has up to 48 reflect damage on it, a little bit of move speed. Okay. As for rings, we are going with these. So we're just trying to get as good attunement roll as we can get on them and as good physical resist on it as we can. Then just try and hit some survivability stats. I probably want to get 2 gold rings for myself personally because I have been struggling on capping my alley res. So the base item implicit will help with that 18% elemental resistance. Okay, and we're just doubling that up. So as you can see, more phys res, more attunement. Great. As for gloves, I'm going to be getting rid of these gloves. This was just for fun with the fire tornadoes, but I would want attunement, double attunement on my gloves. Okay, so try and get an exalted attunement gloves with phys res, and then slam another exalted attunement onto your gloves. For the relic, we're doing some like for fun lightning charging, so I decided to get this. It also has attunement on it as a base stat, so I was like, why not? So this item you could easily swap out with another relic that has attunement on it and phys res. This does have base phys res. So, I mean, this item is probably one of the better items you can get with attunement, but we can keep having a look and experimenting with the relics. Headpiece, we've got attunement on it. We've got reduced damage taken from crits, which we actually don't need anymore because we are crit capped. So we could get rid of that suffix completely and add in something like endurance or health. We've got 45 phys res on here. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys are starting to see what we're going for and why we're doing it, right? Moving on. This wand, I've just got it on at the moment for the lightning damage, for the lightning strikes, or the Stormbolts, sorry. You would probably just slam more lightning damage stuff onto this weapon. I'm not sure if there's a better version for reflect damage. I haven't found anything. If anyone knows of anything, let me know. There is a better lightning version, which is a wand that you can use. I don't know if I have one. Let me double check really quick. No, I don't. It increases your spell damage per movement speed. So you would probably want to use that because we are moving quite quickly. And you would just slam lightning damage and stuff onto it. Okay. As for idols, there is one idol and one idol only. That is this idol. Flat damage reflected to attackers. You want to find as many of these as possible. So you'll see my unbuffed Fizz Reflect now is only 28,000. It goes up to about 70,000 when I pop Spriggan Thornshiled, but you'll see 28,800. If I just take one of these off, 27. Yeah, take two off, 26. So it is quite a massive damage increase per one of these idols. I have a quest I need to go hand in to get my last 3 slots, but I haven't had the idols, so I've just been farming cemeteries non-stop trying to find more of these idols and get better rolls on some of the lower ones. Okay. So that is the gearing. As for blessings, I would just go for anything you need to survive, whether that be crit avoidance, void res, fire res. Just get some resistances and some defensive layers through your blessings. Okay, moving on. We will head over to the passive tree. This is how I've started it off. Okay, so I took 2 points in here for the health, 8 points in here for the attunement. Anytime we see attunement, we want to snatch it up. Some spell damage and some more lightning damage. Then we move over to Druid Tree. We grab 3 points into Chitinous Plating, 7 points into Spirit Warden, 5 points into Primordial Resonance, 7 points into Druidic Prowess, more attunement. Remember, 9% more damage per attunement. Very strong. Thicket of Thorns, this gives us more damage reflected, plus 60, and chance to cast Thornshiled on you when hit, which increases our reflect damage by quite a lot. Increased damage while transformed. I'm still unsure, and I would love for people, if they know the answer to this. I've tried testing it, but because we can't see the numbers, it's really hard to figure out if damage while transformed correlates to reflect damage at all. So if anyone knows the answer to that, let me know. 1 point in here, so we get no decay out of combat, just quality of life if you're AFK. Crit chance, leech on crit, a big attunement node. And this node is really nice because we have over 100 attunement right now. And this is giving 3% critical strike avoidance per 5 attunement. Like, you can almost get your crit cap from your attunement. Kind of crazy. I put 1 point into increased minions and then 1 point into here. I don't know whether it's worth it because the increased damage with an active companion, I believe this used to say active minion, and I don't know if the Storm Totem counts as the companion, but I think it does. At least it used to, so I'm using some old tech to get that 30% increased damage from the Storm Totem that gets automatically summoned from our relic. Okay. Then I've gone 8 points in here to increase our crit chance and to get the 3 rage on crit. Eventually, if I can get enough crit, I can drop the amulet and boots we're wearing in favor for something different. So that's kind of an end game plan. Yeah. And that is that tree. Then we're going to pop over into Shaman, and we are going to grab the 8 attunement. You can come in here early and grab this node because it's so much damage while you're leveling. So come in here, drop 8 points in here. And then I've gone up through and grabbed some more attunement here, some lightning damage, some added lightning damage. Okay. And then, oh yeah, I wanted to grab that node. There we go. and some shared spell lightning penetration per 5 attunement. Okay, and that is the normal talent points. So let's go into our skill choice. All right, so there's still a bit of changes going on in my brain, but we'll go over what I've got so far. So I started off grabbing Gathering Storms. I started off coming over here, 1 point in Looming Cloud, 4 points into Concentrated Storm, 2 points into Eye of the Storm, and then 1 point into Rending Vortex. Crit chance per Maelstrom. Okay, this is just nice to have for the getting the rage back. Stormbolt repeat chance 20%, 1 point into attack speed, 4 points into lightning penetration, and then current mana consumption 1%, damage per 10 current mana 3%, and max damage bonus 300%. I took 1 point into minion storm stack chance, and I'm probably, if I get any more points through other sources, I'll probably put some points into target area. And then up here, Stormbolt shock chance 100%. Okay. Moving on to Maelstrom, we come straight down. We go 4 points into stack duration, 1 point into sleep footed, 1 point into Power of the Storm, Stormbolt cast each second at 6 or more stacks. And then Stormbolts from the Power of the Storm node is cast at additional targets. Then we come up here, 40% more damage. This is doubled to 80% damage. If you have 60 plus attunement, you are going to have that so quick. So grab this node. Mana efficiency and then haste at 6 stacks or more. Make us run a bit quicker. And then you can increase the area of effect. Okay. Now getting into the juice, the fun part, what I enjoy the most. First thing I would do if you were playing this build is run down here, 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 then we get here, and then here. Lightning strikes per second while rampaging, and unending storm. Rampage has no cooldown. So this is the main node we're after. So just put 3 points in here and then 1 point in here. We just want the rampage has no cooldown so we can spam it and run around the map as fast as we can. Then after that, I came down here and to Intimidating Cry. Whenever you let go of the rampage button, it's going to cast your war cry. Okay. 1 point over here is a health on kill. I'll probably keep that. 1 point here, 3 points into lightning damage, which I'm probably going to reallocate these because our lightning damage isn't as good as I've hoped. So I'm going to actually remove these right now. And I'm probably going to invest 1 point into Crackling Assault for the extra hit and drop the rest into the Endurance. Okay. Stop respec. Okay. Moving on to Warcry. Warcry, we come up here 1 and then across here to get the 5-second cooldown on Warcry. Then we come straight down and we max out Whirlpool. So every time we use Warcry or with every 5 seconds, we get 4 stacks of Maelstrom. Then you can grab the cleanse so that you can cleanse any ailments off yourself. You can come up here and grab the increased critical chance to help you get more rage back whenever you Warcry. And that works quite well. Heading over into Spriggan form, we come down and we grab 5 in here for 200 armor, 50% increased armor. We grab 3 into Thornshiled duration, 5 into damage reflected by the Thornshield, so it's 150 flat reflect. 1 into here, additional Thornshield duration, plus 4 seconds. Grab this, armor with a shield, Thornshiled recast chance 30%, and Thornshiled can only target you. Then what you do is, I can show you right here. If you have a look at my reflect damage, right, you come in here when you're doing a boss and you just spam up your Thornshield, and you can see our reflect damage goes to insanity level. And this can cap out at around 80k for me at the moment, depending on double cast chances. And then I just swap to bear, and I've got the Thornshield on, the increased damage, fighting the boss, and he is dead, right? So that is Spriggan form. And that is the build. So I hope you guys enjoyed the showcase, and I hope you guys can tell that this build has pretty high corruption potential. The fact that I'm still one-shotting everything at 400 corruption means that I'm probably going to be one-shotting everything at 500 corruption. And I think it's going to, like, I think you'll be able to take this build to 1,000 corruption with the correct idle slots, with more physical resist. I think it's possible. And I believe people have already killed Uber Aberoth with reflect damage. So if you can take that with a grain of salt, but I think this build can do all the content in the game. It's very fun, very fast, very easy to level. All you need to do is make sure you get this chest piece to start off with, okay? All right, well, join the Discord in the description. The build link will be in the description, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.